Freedom Radio Hour. Live on Capital Radio 91.6 FM.
All right, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Freedom Radio Hour. I'm your host, DJ Adam Cruz, and I have my fantastic co-host here,
Eddie Nicholas. What's up, good people? We are so grateful and so glad to be back with you again in 2015. Welcome to Capital Radio 91.6 FM, the Heartbeat of Sudan. What's going on, Adam? What are we going to talk about today?
Well, I tell you, the music world is a buzz right now. There's so much happening. You know, for the last few weeks, we've been really trying to break down and understand better the streaming services industry because, you know, they are now taking over the lion's share of the income when you think about how digital music is slowly starting to come down in sales. We were talking, over the next 5 years, you're going to see sales dwindle, and they're talking about a 39% drop by 2019. That's a big drop. So now, instead of that, they're arguing that streaming services is king, and that's how people are accessing their music. For example, Forbes magazine, you know, that's like the biggest magazine out there. They said that there was a study done for the year 2014. There was 164 billion songs streamed for 1 year. 164 billion. So I'm thinking this is a crazy time because I know people say that people are listening to music more than ever before, but I think the math doesn't lie. Right now, we're in a place where it is very true that we are consuming music more than ever before. But for some reason, we are devaluing it as we go along with when you think about new technologies like streaming. But when you think about, too, like everybody seems to want to get their hands on this money because I have a tough time believing that we're in a market that's shrinking or dying, because if I hear about another company sprouting up who's going to be offering streaming services for a fee, I'm going to be like, are you serious?
Somebody's getting some money.
Exactly. And we've been talking about this before.
As you said before, when you're talking about the streaming, people are listening, but people are no longer buying.
That's right.
There's a big difference.
That's right. And we talked about that. You know, Spotify came across, and, they're the leader right now. They came under fire, we talked about, because of Taylor Swift and her pulling her album, 1989, which has now since sold multiple times platinum. And also her other albums. Now, since then, Taylor Swift did it, Adele did it, she's another big British singer, and others have come forward to talk about how little money that they're making. Pharrell Williams, with that song.
Happy.
Yes, you remember that? Right at the turn of the year.
Grammy winner, all that type of stuff. So millions of copies.
Millions and millions of streams heard on YouTube, and his management is suing YouTube right now because they're claiming that they didn't acquire the proper licenses to be able to stream the material, first of all. And second of all, they're saying, why is it that it was streamed millions and millions and millions of times, and they were cut a check for like $6,000? Aloe Black, that was that country singer, Wake Me Up When It's All Over. That was streamed just as much as Happy, and he got like $3,000 check. So, wait a minute. If you're telling us that, we're supposed to make money, artists, from streaming, and we're getting, if our biggest artists are only talking about a $3,000 check, there's a big problem with the math.
Yes.
Well, let me tell you something. Well, finally, I started to do some research about what real programs that we could sort of buy into as artists to really make some money. Right now, you can have a YouTube channel like we have right now for Freedom Radio Hour, and we could monetize it, meaning with ad-driven revenue, you can make a little something. Again, we're talking fraction of a penny, very little amount. But at least we can do something. Well, there's a company called TSU, T-S-U. They have come out and they're new. They're trying to take a bite out of this in some way, and they're really coming after Facebook. They want to take social media to another place. They feel like, why don't you make it possible for users to get paid for every time that they post? Now imagine, you go to a warehouse, you perform your cut, and you come home, you posted your photos like you do. Imagine you got some fraction, some money every time you posted a photo, a post, a shared something, anything.
Well, in doing that, would we then be part of the suit or whatever that company you just said? Do we now become a proponent of them, a worker for them, where they pay us and we're promoting their service?
Well, here's the thing, where it is right now, if you sign up with a YouTube, you get a very tiny amount for the ads. The lion's share of the ad revenue goes to YouTube. Sue switches it up. They only take 10% of the ads coming in. The 90% goes to you. So So they're saying it's not that they're getting the lion's share, it's you get the lion's share. But you're making a good point about who owns the content. You're saying, well, okay, so that's cute and all, but if you're on Sue and you start posting content, does Sue own it? Because let me tell you something, I don't know if you're aware of this.
Because they're paying you.
Right. Well, the other thing is right now on Facebook, if you post on Facebook has already you have authorized them to use your name and likeness, and they can make money from anything you post or say. And you know that because the data's coming out that says Mike Zuckerberg and their whole team, they get paid every time you post and comment and do that. Why? Because there's all this targeted marketing around your taste and your sentiment.
That's why now when you look at Facebook, they're giving you all these extra little extensions, what you listen to, what type of movies, and all these other things that you can go ahead and check out. We're going to be right back. Capital Radio 191.6 FM, the Heartbeat of Sudan. I'm Eddie Nicholas, and my brother over here,
Adam Cruz, y'all. And stick around. We're going to talk about Apple and what they're trying to do with their Beats subscription service. You won't believe it. Stay tuned, y'all.
Freedom Radio Hour. Live on Capital Radio 91.6 FM.
What up, beautiful people, and welcome back to Capital Radio 91.6 FM, the Heartbeat of Sudan. I'm Edward Nicholas, and I'm here with my wonderful co-host, Mr.
Adam Cruz, y'all. We're live here on the Freedom Radio Hour, giving you music, business news, and trends from around the globe. Not only do we give you great music, because right tonight we have a fantastic mix going on, some really quality artists, but we also want to make sure you guys know what the latest news and trends are around music business, and especially because a lot of it relates to our kind of music. We love that soulful house music. We love what we call niche market music. I know people hate that word because it seems to
but that's what it is.
But that's what it is, because it could be not just house, it could be like just a segment of some kind of music that you're into, that I think it might be worthy for you to listen to a show like ours. Anyway, before the break, we were talking about a company called Sue, TSU, and what they did was they're giving the opportunity for users to sign up, create a profile like you do on Facebook, but now they will pay you for every time you post a picture, have something to say, anything, and you get, the more followers you get, the more money you make. They take 10% of the ads, because everything's ads driven, which is great because the YouTube and the other companies, they switch it around. They take the lion's share. They give you the lowest bits. So this company might be a little bit of a game changer, but everything costs. In order for you to be posting and getting money, you got to give information of yourself. You have to allow access to where you are, your geographic location, your tastes, and we talk about what happens when that occurs. Remember, we were talking about Apple, and Apple is trying to rebrand their Beats services. They bought Dr. Dre's headphones, and now they made a little subscription service trying to compete against Spotify and YouTube, right? So they're trying to come out again in March. But recently I came across an article that was just killing me. We're talking about the big data and everything. Well, Apple went and bought a company called Semetric, and they have an analytics tool that basically knows how to count downloads, live streams, sentiment, so anybody chatting about somebody, and they could put it all together and present you with their findings of what's hot and popping in music.
Oh Lord, we done hit George Orwell's 1984.
We really have. It's like open the door. I feel like enemy of the state.
Like,
I know. It's very 1984, but you know what? Let me tell you something. People have a problem with that, and they have a lot to say about privacy, except you have not you, well, I know you do, but you may have any sort of social media account, or even by virtue of having an email address, an electronic in existence, you are prone to all kinds of things, as we've come to understand. NSA, that film, the interview that caused all of that problem in terms of hacking for Sony. That all relates to all of us, man, because right now we're giving our information away in order to make either money or get access to something. As
I call it, our Matrix data track.
It is very Matrix, but people get upset. They're like, oh, that's why I only have my Facebook account. But I'm like, well, did you know that there's money being made every time you post or leave a comment or hit a reply or share? Mark Zuckerberg and them, they made sure that they are getting paid through what? Through those ads. And not only are they getting paid from the ads, they're doing targeted marketing. So like as you've noticed, if you're a Facebook person, that a lot of the times the ads that you see on the left and right side of the pages are only things that you like. Anything that you're into, right? That you might have clicked a like on, anything, that's all tracked. So if you're thinking you get Nova, they already got you. And if you have even if you don't have that, you go, well, I don't have social media, so they can't get me. Well, if you have a cell phone,
and they got you.
They got you. So it's very 1984. I need to insert the Twilight Zone episode or something.
Those little fancy little digital magical phone calls come from? Tell them that you don't want a trip or something.
Exactly. Oh, if I get another private message talking about if you could just holler at my royalty relative in Nigeria, and then you have access to millions of dollars. I just need a middle person. I'm like, oh, here we go. You know, I have a friend on Facebook who always posts anytime he gets a message, and I crack up because that's where we're in. That's kind of the age, you know. But anyway, so Apple, they bought this company. They're tracking everything. So they're saying, I think it kind of makes it weird because besides the Big Brother thing, there's also this idea that all these markets are real unstable because if they charged, say, $9 a month instead of $10, which is what Spotify charges, now people are more prone to get into Apple because there's iTunes, which is already huge.
And then Apple's only charging $9.
Right. So now here we go. Now the next company comes out because they seem to be popping up left and right. You got YouTube has their music key. That's their own new program they're trying to launch. They might offer it at $7. And here we go. And now we get down to the $1 to $0. And we're back to the original problem. And I think that we're barking up the wrong tree, trying to fight piracy and shutting down Pirate Bay and all these things that on the surface seems like we ought to be fighting it, right? But I think it's just like Pirate Bay went down, there's several have come up. You know, we've discovered SoulSeek and BitTorrent and all these sites, and all our house music DJs are current in the corner because they know they too have participated in some piracy over the time, you know?
And continue to do so.
Exactly, you know? But listen, we're going to take a break, but when we come back on our last section, I just want to talk about some of the topics that we want to cover in future episodes, but also I have to just kind of talk a little bit about the streaming and all that stuff just a little further, because if we are giving away all this information, don't you think we should have been valued higher?
Yes, we should. Check you soon. Capital Radio 91.6 FM, the Heartbeat of Sudan.
Freedom Radio Hour.
And we're back here live on Capital Radio 91.6 FM, the Heartbeat of Sudan. We're live on the Freedom Radio Hour. I'm your host, DJ Adam Cruz, and Eddie Nicholas is our fantastic co-host right here.
People.
Yes. So Eddie and I were kind of breaking down streaming services, but in summary, we want to really kind of give you more of the predictions we see for the year. In short, I think as an artist, what can you take away from tonight's episode? I think the biggest takeaway is understanding that, number one, online, you need to have your presence tight. So do the investigation. So look up that company, SU, TSU.
And see if that's something that can benefit you.
Exactly, because they're saying that through the click of a finger, you could be as close digitally to like a Justin Timberlake or a Timberland or whoever, and they want to put you real close. Like, you know what, you and I giggle about that kind of notion, but listen, you never know. You've got to figure out a way to make this work for you. But I think we don't want to miss the point that while there's all this online activity going on, as an artist, you cannot ignore your offline efforts. I want to really be clear on that. What does that mean? All of the data has been showing that, yeah, all of the downloads are plummeting and blah, blah, blah. But offline efforts like touring and live shows are where it's at.
You got to create a fan base.
Exactly. So what you do with your fan base, you slow and steady wins the race. You look up different methods. Look at past episodes of the Freedom Radio Hour. We talk about social etiquette online. We talk about all you need to know about music publishing. We talk about copyright, royalties going on. So I think you should just take the opportunity to be a student of your craft. Learn the ins and outs, and especially bone yourself up, so to speak, on what you want to do.
Never too late.
Exactly. You want to know what you want to know exactly what your role entails, whatever you're into regarding this music business. But I think also just make sure that those offline efforts are together. So have your flyers, your printed materials, have your business cards. I went somewhere the other day and somebody didn't have that, and it was a weird thing because I'm like, how do I reach you? You know, do I sit here now and you're gonna?
I'm guilty of that. So many of us are.
You got to get those cards reprinted.
Cards, yes.
You know? And it's those simple things, you know. And like I said, make sure that you have at a live performance, or if maybe you can't get booked, go to some open mics. get into the network, get into the community of other people that are on the grind just like you.
Get people interested in you.
That's right. And so that's sort of the biggest takeaway. And I think online, you need to nowadays be very savvy. Keep yourself abreast, keep talking, keep learning, and keep growing. That's the best thing I could kind of
and most of all, keep grooving. Thank you for joining us on Capital Radio 91.6 FM, the Heartbeat of Sudan. Good night. I'm Eddie Nicholas.
And I'm Adam Cruz. Definitely check out EddieNicholas.com. He has a brand new single, One Time, out. Check out DJ Adam Cruz for my album, The Freedom LP. And of course, check out freedomradiohour.com and post under everything we're posting, because we want to hear what you have to say about all of this music business news. Have a great night, y'all. See you next time.
Peace out.